Okay, hello everybody. We've got three of us online today, which could be chaos, which I think
Like,
it probably will be actually. So today we have Maxine Gee. You all know Maxine because I read a letter from her a couple of months ago now on the podcast, which did extremely well. Snez is one of Maxine's tribes, so she's here to talk for, if she can, on behalf of Maxine. And I'm here because I run the podcast and Maxine asked me, and that's just how it works in life. So Maxine was diagnosed nearly a year ago. She has bulbar onset, so therefore she is nonverbal. But as I say over and over, for someone who can't talk, she sure has a hell of a lot to say. And whom you all know, Maxine went to visit him not too long ago, and he texted me afterwards and said, "Thank God she can't speak." And then Max has just sent me a text. We were trying to get onto Zoom and it says Zoom automatically opened and it does audio checks. Tested the headphones, all good, but it cracked her up laughing when went to test the microphone and wondering why it wasn't working. Yeah, because it was waiting for her to talk and she can't. So Zoom, we need to kind of get ahead on that line too. So Snez, Max wants me to ask how you two met.
oh, okay. I'm going to get this wrong, and obviously, people are listening, not watching, and her face is going to be the expression that you and I see. But
Yeah.
when I do get it wrong, I'm sure she'll let us know. We met at a real estate conference back in 2021. We were the singles of the group. So obviously at many conferences, whether real estate or otherwise, people either rock up in, teams of whoever they work with, or they're lone rangers like we were. So the both of us ended up at what was otherwise referred to as a singles table, and pretty much the whole table was the group of us that had decided to come along on our own. And so, yeah, we pretty much hit it off, and I'd say soul sisters from the get-go. We were laughing and carrying on and quite cheeky with presenters and whatnot. And of course, Maxine, and cheeky is probably, a stretch because it is far worse than that.
Yeah, but we're on a podcast.
Yeah, correct. So we've got to keep it PG. But yeah, so you spend the day listening to various speakers and whatnot, and the story that sticks out that I'll probably get wrong because it sits in my mind very differently to Maxine's. But one particular speaker, Rick Rushton, who in and of himself, he's a beautiful gentleman, and he was absolutely a delight to listen to. But we had been leading to him speaking on the second day. So on the first day, we had dinner and drinks, and obviously it's free, so the drinks kept flowing, and we got a bit of Dutch courage, probably more Dutch courage for Max than what I had, but there was a bit of a story to do with Maxine essentially not knowing who Rick Rushton was at the time, and standing around a bar in groups as we were, trying to get to know other constituents that were there. And she made a comment. Am I allowed to? Like,
Yeah, say it.
Oh, okay. About I can't remember how it came up to begin with, but about the size of his balls.
Oh, okay. Good on you, Max.
Not knowing, obviously, the next day to kick off one of the earlier morning sessions was this gentleman whose balls she had commented on the night before. And of course, as good speakers do, he utilised that as a bit of ammo to point out who Maxine was in the room.
Oh my God.
Bringing attention to our singles table.
Yeah.
In probably a way that not everyone was comfortable with, but Maxine revelled in that. And yeah, pretty much said he might need a restraining order, I think,
Oh,
commentary from the night before. So yeah, look, other than that being a story, and Rick's obviously one that I think both Max and I have continued to follow, and he's a true gentleman, both of our industry and just in general in life. So but yeah, that was pretty much the kickoff and the start of where we sort of became friends and continued through the next dinner party of free drinks and food to make some more memories. And it's sort of, we haven't looked back since, pretty much. It's, yeah.
it's funny how you find your friends, isn't it? I found a few that way. And then Maxine, I saw, was talking a hell of a lot on the private Facebook pages we have. Like, she didn't shut up. So I thought, oh, Jesus, I better reach out to this one. And I did. And the same, we said we think we're soul sisters. It's not a day goes past where we don't talk. I'm going to say the word talk, but we message constantly and consistently. And we really are particularly unkind to each other most days. Maxine's having a bit of a rough trot at the moment. Her dad died last week. And so, you know, all of our love and condolences to you for that. You're dealing with it remarkably well. And then next week, Max is going in for a peg, which she's worried about, but I'm thrilled about, because I think you've lost 22 kilos in the last little while, haven't you? 25 kilos now. Yep.
25.
So,
yeah.
So whilst I understand the fear that you have, you, in a few weeks' time, you're going to look back and say, thank God, because you'll have more energy, because you'll have more calories. And God help all of us then.
Yeah, look, I don't think it can bring the voice back, but so it's not altogether a bad thing.
No, I know.
But I'm yeah, understanding of her fear, but certainly rapt that hopefully it opens up a better chapter moving forward for Max. I can really see it turning stuff around for her, because I know she's raring to go in many things and ticking boxes. So I'm hopeful that we can fatten her up and she gets bigger boobs than me again.
Yeah, I think that's a good aim, actually.
It's not hard, Jane.
No.
We don't know each
Okay.
other that well, but it's not.
Okay, I'll check you out later. Okay. So I did, after we press stop record. So I have met Snez in human life. It was the MND Vic Relay that you did.
Yes.
Was that in March?
I can't remember. Not that long ago. Not that long ago, but yeah.
And Maxine and Snez and some of their other friends turned up with blue tutus and wristbands and headbands, and they looked amazing. And tell us about your competition that day. You did, how many laps did you do? It was amazing.
I did crazy laps. I didn't walk for 3 days afterwards, but yeah, I did some quite a few Ks. I can't remember actually exactly how many they were, but had a few breaks in between, which is I met you face to face on one of them. But yeah, I was really into the fundraising in the lead up to it as well. So we created a team. In the end, we sort of, between Max and her partner, Damien, and myself, we ended up creating a team for the fundraising, which was great. And I've got a ethnic background, pretty huge Macedonian community, and work in the real estate industry, some of which have, I guess, heard about Max. My tradies and friends from the industry and family collectively, we raised just over $1,000, I think. So it was really good within a short time frame. That
it's amazing.
You know, between the three of us, we were able to come up with that. And I say it's a collective effort, obviously.
Maxine didn't realise that you weren't Australian.
With a name like Snezana, I think she might have figured it out sooner than now. But yeah, so, and it was a great day. Like, what a great event. I was obviously the cause is the cause, but and any time we get to spend together is always fun with Maxine and myself. But yeah, it was a great day, great event, really well organised. We had a ball.
Yeah, we did. And when you were walking, Max and I were dancing.
Yeah, yeah. I was dancing after everyone stopped walking.
Okay, well, we were dancing whilst you were walking because we didn't want to walk. I did a few token walks, but it was really just to pretend that I was walking. But, you know, I was there, so what the hell? So I sent Max some questions a while back. I'm going to start reading a few of them out. And and you can interject at any time. And Max, you just type away. Beautiful. So, no, I can't find it. How and when were you diagnosed? It was the 12th of the 7th, 2023 at 1:45 p.m. You know, we can all remember the exact time that happens. They thought that it was a stroke. She had a heart checked and then a throat specialist. Max thought it was a twisted tongue. Eventually the nerve testing, and it was confirmed that it was motor neuron disease. It's not even a year ago, Max. So your life has really flipped on its head in that last, well, 10 months for the meantime. But my observation, Snez was with me at the nerve test. They're all in the place, Snez. Did they do that one under here?
Yeah, they did them under everywhere. So that was, Max was having a lot of these tests, I guess, in the lead up to that, and it was still sort of end of COVID time. So masked up, one person only. It has to be a partner or whatever. So
yeah.
I turn to humour when shit gets dark. So I met Max. I met Max at the hospital here in Melbourne, and we said that I was her wife or partner, so that I could get in, so that she wasn't on her own in that appointment. Look, the jig wasn't up for long, but we went in there. But I guess from my perspective, and Max, you can certainly add to it with your comments, but you know, watching anyone you care or care about or love go through even that testing was really confronting for me. You know, it looks painful just to watch that. If you're watching complete strangers go through it, you know, as a human, you'd go, holy crap, what does that even feel like? But she took it like a trooper. I saw her near naked, so, which is fair enough. I was her wife that day, but
yeah,
it was difficult to watch. I'm sure it was more difficult and painful for her. She still had, you know, a more ability with her voice at that time, so we were able to communicate a lot more freely than now. But yeah, it was really confronting watching that test, and then I think the subsequent appointment was the results of that test. And back at Max is just saying it made it very real. So the next appointment we went along with, and that was with, I think, she's saying that there was something wrong, was with one of the head of the departments that, you know, she was amazing. I think we both, you know, being with Max at that time, she was fantastic. I can't remember the doctor's name, but she was really, like, to be able to find positivity and encouragement when you're getting such crappy news. Dr. Crotchet, is that right? I think is, you know, bedside manner with doctors is something we only really talk about when it's negative, but her bedside manner was, she was a neurologist, Kate Crotchet. She was amazing. And for me, I guess, even though we'd been to that test months before, that was probably the point where it became very real. Like, even though we'd had conversations, and Maxine would have had many conversations with other doctors and specialists in her life up until that point, that was probably, you know, when they start talking about going into experimental medicine or trials and all this sort of stuff, that was sort of like, hang on a minute, there's no can we hit a rewind button and just go over everything up until this point from, you know, someone that was sitting beside her. But yeah, Max is just saying it was a WTF moment. And that was, I think for me, even though we'd had conversations and we'd had, you know, pretty much knowing that it was MND, that point was where it was, you can't sort of get a refund at this point. We're in it. So.
Max, are you on any trials?
No.
No, okay. Have they been offered to you? Oh, for this coming October. Okay, well, that's good. That's exciting.
Yeah, I think Max is, from our discussions, if I can, go into Max has sort of been in two minds, and I guess it's a battle that when you're in it, you know, why do you want to be poked and prodded and part of something, but then at the same time, knowing Max as I know her, and you probably know much the same way when it's come to this diagnosis for her, not dead yet, takes ages to get into a trial is what Max has just said. But I think, you know, you toy with the idea of, do I want to just live my life and be, you know, who I can and what I can for however long I can, or do I, she's saying she's been told she qualifies for the monopental. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah.
Okay.
But ultimately, you know, if she gets into that and goes ahead with that, it'll be her choice, and hopefully it's something that helps.
You right, love? Okay, so then here's another question. How's your life changed since diagnosis? Whilst I was dealing with a terminal diagnosis, my work replaced me as they were told I wasn't returning. So my 30-year experience as a property manager was taken away from me, and suddenly I had no purpose. That is hard, but more than hard, for a whole lot of reasons. And you and I have discussed it, and it's extremely distressing that happened to you. Pretty bloody mean too, frankly.
It was shit. You know, that's who I was, and I was effing good at it. Try to keep it PG. I had met Max's colleague, or I guess senior, or whatever you want to call it. Probably not senior, because the knowledge was in favour of Maxine versus her colleague at the time, but where she was working, that when they made the decision to let Max go, and obviously that was well before her diagnosis. We were all at a conference. We'd had a great time. And so when this happened, and it was like, you know, they're telling me I can't have my job, I can't do this, but everything else is working. You know, my brain's working, my fingers are working, you know, yeah, I'm slurring my speech at the time, so to speak, but still, surely there's got to be a way. And Max is saying they weren't educated about MND. And I think that panic sets in. Not that I'm excusing the behaviour, because that wouldn't be my choice. It wouldn't be what I would do in that situation to, you know, an employee or a team member of mine. But
there's often the perception.
Yeah, I think that was a huge adjustment.
Yeah. Max and I talk about this a lot, and I'm not going to say the exact words she says, but just because a person can't talk doesn't mean they don't have a brain that works. And I know, Maxine, you're coming across that quite a lot. That and that's a form of discrimination, really. Someone told them I'd indicated I wouldn't be coming back, but they never asked me. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a slight problem. It's probably, but and then there's fear around people not knowing how to communicate with people with MND. Well, we can all communicate pretty well. You just use your phone and non-stop right, and talk to me. So, and everyone else. And I know that whenever Maxine walks into a shop or somewhere, she has written on her phone, excuse me, I have MND, I'm unable to talk, but my brain works.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way to go about it too. Yeah, that was just cruel. But purpose, you still have a purpose in your life once we fatten you up. So Maxine has become an amazing advocate for people with MND and herself. And one of the first things that she did was jump onto the WAS going to Canberra on the lawnmower. And you went to Canberra that day. And you met with the Prime Minister. And that was extremely powerful, what you all did, which was to show the PM and the MPs who were there what it's like for people who have MND. So the mere fact that you turned up that day was extraordinary. And the real beginning of your advocacy work. So Maxine has just said she walked away from the job as she couldn't be bothered fighting, but she did tell them they discriminated. And she's now a writer, and she is a writer. She's writing her life story. And I'm up to chapter 5 and I'm waiting for chapter 6. Where is it? Are you still doing it? Okay, well, pull your finger out, mate. What else are you doing all day but sitting around? And I have to say that not yet. Is that the title?
That's a little, no, this is a little, I guess, just a little book that Max has created, and she's sent a couple of copies out, I guess, to nearest and dearest. And I got this in the mail. It sits there as a constant reminder of, some things that she's written in here that we should all probably not take for granted. I'll just read one: play the music loud and sing and dance because you can. And the cover of it says "not yet," and that's actually a tattoo that Max had put on her after a diagnosis, basically saying "not yet," like as in she's got a lot of life to live. So, yeah.
I want one of those.
You got to pay for them now, Jane.
That's fine. I'll pay it.
If I'm going to be your agent, Max, we're going to be making money.
Are you her agent for her book as well?
No.
What are you taking? 50%?
There she goes. No, absolutely not.
Actually, Maxine sent me something bloody brilliant last night. Hang on a minute. Here we go. She sent me this text last night. She said she's found her legacy, and it's on a gravestone, and it says, just lost it.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
If you want to be remembered after you die, borrow money from everyone you know.
How good's that?
You make me laugh so much. Okay, so Maxine is extremely pragmatic about the illness, and she's not only pragmatic, but she's extremely organized. So Maxine has organized her funeral to the nth degree, haven't you?
I'm just going to correct you there, Jane. It's not her funeral. It's her
celebration.
Fun.
Oh, that's right. Her funeral. Forgive me. Yeah, you're right. So that's, but you keep talking to me about it, but it's going to be quite a long time till we're there. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be laughing. What else do you want to do? What else do you want us? Oh, you've done videos for it? Well, that's going to scare the shit out of all of us, and we're sitting there quietly, and all of a sudden,
so super organised. Yeah. We might need to have like a couple of nurses on standby or first aid or something for everybody else that's attending it.
Yeah. Fine. Now, there's one thing that I know Maxine is extremely passionate about. Now, Maxine can't eat food properly anymore. So, and she can eat mushed up slop. Is that a good way of putting it? Nod, yes or no,
Yeah, I
Maxine?
guess so.
Your brain
No
works.
shit, Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
But she still likes to go out with her family and her friends to restaurants and eat food. But she's having extraordinary trouble when she asks the restaurant people, could you please get this risotto, whatever, and smush it up for me so I can eat it. And there's bugger all recognition of the fact that she can't eat food. And this is not just for Maxine alone. This is for other people who have diseases where they can't eat. So going to restaurants, asking them, restaurants don't own a blender, apparently, is what she's been told.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So I don't know whether it's done because of OH&S issues for them, or whether they just can't be bothered doing it. But any restaurant owner out there who's listening, if someone comes in and they're a client and they're paying and they would like their food smushed up so they can sit and eat and enjoy a meal with everyone else, would you please do that? She said she's offered soup, but it's too watered down. So the consistency is not good enough.
It isn't good enough. But I'm going to say, yeah, so Max chokes, even with something like a risotto, it's a choking hazard. But we did go out for a catch up quite a few weeks back now with her partner Damien, Maxine, and myself, and then caught up with some other friends, and we were in Docklands. And I want to make a point of saying this because we had asked for something under the circumstances, you know, explaining we like it pureed. Max picked something off the menu, and the lady that was serving us was fantastic. But as a restaurant, they said, we can't do it. Well, we own next door. Let me just run across to that restaurant and see if they've got anything on their menu that you might want. And they can do it. And like, it was, I don't think you were made to feel less than because of it. It was like, no problem at all. Yep, sure, we'll do it. Pick something off the menu and we'll get it done. They brought it in. There was no fuss. There was, you know, it was like any other customer that had walked in and asked for something, you know, slightly off menu. And I thought that was really good. And you know, yeah, there you go. She says, I didn't feel like she had a disability that day. And being able to sit around, I think that's really important. When you do go to a restaurant, you want to feel like everyone else, you know. So that was a good experience in that regard. And I know she's had some crap ones, but that one, you know, being the last one that I was part of just a few weeks back was actually a really good experience. They were great.
Is that the time that you met up with? I didn't attend because I was unwell, but then you attended. Turns out you were unwell, and then you gave Maxine the flu. Is that time, Snez? So you gave a person with MND who's compromised the flu. Yeah, that was good friendship.
No comment, Jane.
Okay, no comment. Max, anything to say about that? Gave me laryngitis, so she couldn't talk.
I did not give you freaking laryngitis.
The other issue that Maxine has at times, and many other people do too, she couldn't talk for days, is that go to the bar and ask for a drink, but because of the way that you present, unable to talk properly or slurring your words, you are denied alcohol. That's another issue. So that's also a big issue around ignorance, and we need to do some more education around that too. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, that happened prior to diagnosis when you were slurring your words. Yep. So there are quite a few issues that have to be contended with. And whilst they might seem small issues to people who don't have MND or whom aren't included in this world, they are, because it's about a loss of dignity. It's about a loss of community, and they're extremely important when you have such diagnosis. Now, not long before Maxine, but glass is still half filled. I don't get offended by much here, I've realised that. Now, not 6 weeks prior to Maxine being diagnosed, she met the love of her life, Damien. I know, look at her. She's all
Oh,
fluttery.
Damo. Yeah.
Oh, Damo. Mind you, she has said to me when she shuffles off the mortal curl, I can have him.
I think he's a good egg.
He's a good egg, but maybe I might like
Yeah.
to choose my own and sloppy seconds. No thanks. But still, Max and Damo are stuck by your side through every second of this. And, the fact that you've found love now and that he's stuck with you, what a good man he is. Snez, why are these two such a good couple? Oh, and
Oh,
also P.S. Soz, the sex is still good, says Maxine.
I was going to say, why are they such a good couple? Probably because the sex is so good.
Fair call. That's okay. Good.
No, look, I think it'd take a really shit person to walk away from someone.
Oh no, it happens.
But yeah, well, I was going to say, but I think from the very beginning there was just this connection. I was being sent a lot of photos of Max and Damo around town. And they look very, very cute, very smitten with each other. And I think once you've made that initial connection, if it happens very quickly, it's hard, between two people, it's hard to sort of walk away, even if you are getting a bag of shit as news. So, I think there's a level of understanding. He's obviously very patient, and that's not because of the MND, but
No, that's
just
just because
because
she's a
it's
pain in the
Maxine
ass. Yeah.
and an
Yep.
arsehole, yeah. But he, I think, he's a patient man from what I can tell of spending time with him and speaking to him. But they just clicked from the beginning. So it's not something you can undo. Once you click with someone, you click with something. Like they say, you can't help who you fall in love with. And I think that was very quick for the both of them.
She also
Yeah.
said she told him to leave or stay till the end when she was first diagnosed. He's learnt sign language and some we make up. Well, that's a really good idea.
Uh,
What's that one in your language? I love
love.
you. Yeah. Okay, good.
And then there's this one.
That dickhead?
Yep.
Okay. See, I'll work that one out really quickly. Everybody, if you're listening to the podcast, you should switch to the YouTube channel. It's much better.
Oh, God. Is this going to be on YouTube?
Yeah, babe.
Oh, you could have told me, I would have prepared.
You look better than Max, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's giving you the
you're
bird.
on YouTube. Stop it. Okay. So, do you have a bucket list? Yes, and I've been very lucky to have carried out some. I said I wanted to go shopping with Christian Hull, and he heard about it, and I'm planning a trip with him soon. Did you do that? And no, you haven't done it yet.
I haven't done that yet.
Christian, this is a reminder that you're going shopping with Maxine. Pull your finger out. I've said I wanted to be on Neighbours, but they haven't responded to my email. Rude. Okay, I'll see. Oh, I know someone at Channel 10. Okay. I'd like to go on Deal or No Deal just to show that my disability won't stop me, and hopefully that will show others. As Jane has said, for someone that can't talk, I have a lot to say.
We did all apply. Obviously, Max had said you need to make the application as part of the group so that, we can get on that way. There was an opportunity for, I think, Damo, because two people go up. I don't know the difference, but she'd gone away, and so we had to miss the audition appointment that we had. And I have emailed them as well, asking whether they would put us in like the next round, because we all got the email back and had to send videos, and we're all in chat saying, what did you say to this question or that question, and how did you respond to this? And so at the moment, that's back with them to hopefully chuck us in the next round so that she gets the opportunity to go up. She said her video was awesome too.
Yeah, so, well, actually, the reason she couldn't attend that audition was because she went to Sexyland in Queensland. I don't even want to talk about that now. But she also said her video was awesome. Yeah. It's your humility that I really appreciate about you, Maxine. You're so humble. How are you making changes within the MND world? She says, I will often post funny things that happen due to my MND. Some are not PG rated. Everyone with MND has an amazing sense of humor. And my partner has told me that the voices in my head laugh at my jokes before I can even tell him what I'm laughing at. I'm not hiding my MND journey, as awareness is so important. And I'm so lucky to live in regional Victoria, and there's always some ways to raise awareness. And as Woz says, I've got MND, not a brain injury. There was a fantastic fundraiser ice bucket challenge the other night. I saw photos of you cuddling up to some pretty hot footballers. Yeah, I thought you quite enjoyed that. And you presented medals to them as well. Masters footy, they're all over 35. Any singles there? I might come up next year. You have Damo. I meant for me, not for you. You're so selfish. Now, this is the chance. This is the time when I want you to type and say the things that I haven't said that you'd like to say. So just give me a few words. Okay, so the words that we've just received from Maxine: I am awesome and life is great. And I actually believe that. You are awesome. You've just bought a new house. You're moving in there with Damo. You're about to get your peg. We're going to fatten you up. You are still having adventures. Yeah, I'm living with MND. I'm not dying from MND. And that's an extremely important distinction to make, that you are living with it. And also, I've said this a few times, but when our son had cancer, he said to me one day, I am a person with cancer. I'm not cancer.
Mm.
And that's extremely important thing to say, that you are Maxine and you have MND. You're not just a walking bundle of MND. Are you still typing? Okay.
It's got the concentration face.
Yeah, you can tell the face.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Either
You're
that or
on
she's starting.
YouTube. Would probably surround yourself with the right people and get rid of anyone that doesn't make you happy. Yeah. And that's extremely important. In fact, that's extremely important in life, regardless. Anyway, so it's the last time that Snez and I'll ever be seeing you. You've done it with family. Yeah. And that's very brave to put boundaries around you and who you are and what you do and don't want in your life. It's very brave. I just want happiness and I just want love and I just want acceptance and understanding. Well, by doing this today, you're going to have more people who love you, understand you, and you're educating. If you want to cry, then let me cry. Sometimes when you have MND, you do cry for no reason, at a time that might be considered inconvenient to other people, but it just happens. And you know what? If it happens, don't rush to them and say, what's wrong? What's wrong? How can I help you?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? No, you're not okay. Because do you ugly cry? So you cry loud and you ugly cry. Yeah, well, that's embarrassing, but just let people cry if they want to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Wait until the funeral this Friday. Not your funeral, your dad's funeral.
Yeah.
What are you going to do at the funeral?
I think she's going to be crying loudly.
Okay.
I mean, that's what she's saying. Yeah.
See,
good translator. Yes.
Could someone video for me
I'll
that for me?
I'll wear a GoPro.
I'll bring too much attention. Yeah. Also, during this chat, Maxine has made a few comments that Snez is a terrible translator. I don't think so. I think she's doing extremely well.
See? Everyone else can see it except you, Maxine.
Yeah, Max. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, but Maxine's just doing a last message for us. She told a guy, I thought he was hot. What did she really mean to say?
Look, I couldn't tell you, but that's what I was translating, see? So her body language, her facial expressions were saying, I think you're cute. Let's see if we can get some wine at the table. Yeah. So that's what I said. And she can say no all she wants, but it's clearly what she meant.
Yeah, clearly. How are you, Damo? How do you feel about that? Yeah.
Best translator in the world.
Best translator in the world. Snez, you better go back to work because you're at the office. Maxine, I don't know what you're going to do today. Probably prepare for your papa's funeral on Friday. And, you know, I said it before, but I'll say it again. You're very brave. But I'll say that I'm so grateful that you've come into my life because you make me laugh every single day. And it's proof, you are proof that just because you have a life-ending illness, you don't have to sit in a hole and dig that hole. You're helping out a lot of people. I see. I cannot read that, Maxine.
Oh, I was going to say, does that come up on
No.
YouTube?
Well, Jesus, I hope not. I'm going to close that down. Oh, God, if that comes up on YouTube.
Censored.
Yeah. Maxine, I love you too. I'm going to go now. This is too much for me. My heart pressure, my heart blood, I can't even talk anymore.
Thanks, Jane. Love you, Max. I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, Max, we're waiting for you to talk. Okay, do not do that one more time. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Beautifuls. Thanks, girls, so much. Okay, I love you.
Thanks. Have a great day. Bye. Love you guys.
Bye, bye, bye. Well done, sweetheart. It was really good. Okay, I love you too. Is that right? Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know what that one is. Like. Okay. Okay. You're too soppy now. Okay, I love you. Bye, sweetheart.